Good morning again. Hope everyone's well and happy. Now we go to St Nicholas School, don't we? Our school is named after St Nicholas. St Nicholas isn't mentioned in the Bible, but some saints are. And I go to a church called St Peter's Church, and this week is a very special week for St Peter's Church because it is St Peter's week. On Sunday was St Peter's Day, a day when people all over the world remember St Peter. And my church is putting together a few films about the life of St Peter. And one of our pupils in Year 5, Emily, has made a video with her family about Peter after Jesus had died and gone to heaven, about how Peter got put into prison and how he escaped. Now we've had this story in assembly since lockdown. I did it one morning with the key workers children, but I know some of you wouldn't have been there. I hope some of you will remember the story. So I'm going to hand you over now to Emily, who is going to tell us all about Peter escaping from prison. Thank you, Emily.
In a house in a back street of Jerusalem, there was a little servant girl. Her name was Rhoda. She stretched out her arms and gave a big yawn.
I can't go to bed yet,
she complained.
The house is full of people all praying, and praying must be thirsty business. I've been fetching drinks all night long.
Rhoda sat on the floor, and to keep awake she reminded herself why everybody was praying so earnestly in the next room.
Poor Peter has been put in prison by wicked King Herod, and all because he was a friend of Jesus. Everybody is praying that Peter will be released from prison. They want Peter to be set free.
She yawned.
I must stay awake.
She yawned again and closed her eyes. On the other side of Jerusalem, in a dark dungeon, Peter was falling asleep too. But he wasn't very comfortable, and neither was the guard he was chained to. Every time Peter tried to stretch his arm, the guard's arm stretched too.
Oi! Keep still, you!
Grumbled the guard.
Hey, we'd like some tip too. Quick, Wriggly!
Moaned the guard.
Sorry.
Apologised Peter.
I'll try to keep still. Good night.
The men settled down to sleep, and soon they were all snoring. Suddenly Peter was woken by a voice whispering in his ear. Psst, Peter, wake up. Peter jumped.
What? Who?
He stammered. Peter looked up. He was dazzled by a bright light. He couldn't see who was talking to him. Get up, Peter, get up now. The voice urged from the light. Peter stood up and his chains fell to the ground. He rubbed his wrists and looked at the guard still asleep. He was confused. Then the voice spoke again. Hurry up, Peter. Do up your belt and put on your sandals. Peter was flustered.
Why?
He asked.
Where are we going?
Just put on your cloak and follow me, instructed the voice. Quickly now. Peter followed the voice and the bright light. The man, or was he an angel, was leading him through the dungeon, up some steps, through a door, and out into the street. Peter shivered in the cold night air. He tried to speak.
Thank you. But where?
He then looked all around him. The man, the angel, had disappeared. Peter wondered to himself.
Is this a dream? No.
He thought.
It's cold outside and it started to rain.
Peter hesitated for a moment.
Right, I know what to do. I need somewhere safe to shelter. I don't want to be here when the guards wake up. John Mark will take me in. I can hide there for a while.
So Peter set off quickly through the dark streets to his friend's house. When he got to the house, he knocked softly on the door. Rhoda woke up with a start.
Oh, what's that? Someone knocking. Who is it?
She crept towards the door and called.
Who's there?
Peter answered.
It's me, Peter.
Rhoda screamed. She was so shocked that she ran into the other room where everybody was praying. They looked up, surprised at all the fuss.
Come quickly!
she stammered.
It's knocking the door. Peter is here. Quick!
Don't be silly, Rhoda, John Mark snapped. We must have been dreaming. But Rhoda insisted.
No, I heard his voice. I know I did.
Then they all listened. Now they all heard the knocking. It might be his angel. He might be dead, John Mark said nervously. They were all scared, so they huddled together and crept slowly to the door. They opened it very carefully.
Hello,
Said Peter.
I'm getting wet out here. Can I come in?
They pulled Peter inside and made a great fuss of him. They wanted to know how he escaped from prison. Rhoda listened to his story and laughed with all the others at his exciting escape. She then hurried off to fetch Peter a nice hot drink.
I'm so glad Peter is here with us and out of that miserable prison.
She thought. Then she added,
Thank you, God, for listening to our prayers and answering them so quickly.